Hey, what's up, man? So today I got somebody I'm bringing back to y'all. Very, very special, man. We got Nina Boy in the house. What's up, Nina Boy?
Oh, man, what's happening with it, bro?
Not much, man. Not much. It's been a lot going on in this hip hop news atmosphere. And I know you've been going live a lot, talking about a lot of these hot topics. But man, I wanted to check in with you to get some of your opinions about some of these latest news things and these updates. But before we get to all that, how you been doing?
Oh, man, I've been good, man. I just got back in town, bro. I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man. I just did a backpack school drive, for some kids in the city of Gardere.
Okay, so you out there helping out the community in
Right.
Baton Rouge. That's wild, man. Now, Baton Rouge is typically known as a pretty wild place, man, a dangerous place. Were you on with your P's and Q's out there?
I was on point, like a Stacey Adams, man. Honest to God, I tell them little dudes out there, man, we got to come together like prayer hands, man, and stop the violence, because they actually commit more violence out there than we are on the West Coast.
Yeah, and I've heard that a couple of times, and it seems like, and I hate to do this, but it seems like because things on the West Coast are a little bit more organized. Like, even though it seems chaotic and not organized, there's still like levels. You know what I'm saying? You guys have your naming structure. From your OGs to your BGs to your baby gangsters, your infant lokes, your all that. You know what I mean? All in order. It's almost like it's its own record of history. You know what I mean? It puts a lot of people in check, and have somebody over them telling them what they can and cannot do, and kind of gives those checks and balances. And I think that's why gun violence as a whole in the Los Angeles area kind of has been going down, right?
Right. Absolutely. In California, you have people that will tell, you to go jump in that car and go unplug somebody's life from this earth. And you don't even know their real name. You don't even know their kids. You don't know where their mama stay, but they could come and tell you to go handle your candle, and it better be yellow tape when he get over there. And this is a total stranger, but y'all from the same community. So it is a difference. In Louisiana, it's every man for itself. Can't no OG tell somebody to go do something over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is wild, man. It's the same thing almost in Chicago, except, just like Baton Rouge, they've got gangs. Chicago's got gangs, but it's so chaotic, man. And it's like one hood, it'll have a history, and then that history will flip with the next generation, like completely. And do you see that as much on the West Coast?
What I see on the West Coast is that, without a doubt, like LA is the mecca. California is the mecca of gang culture, right? But what I see now is that these young dudes are starting to find their own identity. They starting to push back on having somebody tell them what to do and taking orders from somebody that's in their 50s and 60s. It got to be somebody that's on the front line with them that they respect. It's no longer, protocol. They don't play by the same playbook that generations before had played by. So, they even in the battlefield, if you ask me.
Nah, that makes sense, man. It sounds kind of like what's going on in Chicago, but not as chaotic. You know what I mean? To where the point where, like, there'll be this one gang that's into it with these guys on this side, then they'll be clicked up with it's a lot that goes on with Chicago drill,
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Now, speaking of LA and what's going on out there, man, there's been a lot of new news coming out of a lot of the things that have come out of No Jumper, man, to say the least. You know what I mean? Now, recently, you had Wack 100 who went live, and it looked like he had a badge on. Now, I just recently dropped a video where it's already out, but I talked to Snoopy Badass about this, and because he was the one who was on live with Wack 100 when he flashed the badge. Now, Wack 100 went and showed the badge or what it was on Vlad, but man, this thing grew legs and started to go viral. People were like, see, I told you he was a cop and all that. What'd you think when you seen this situation?
Man, I thought Wack 100 was absolutely crazy because it's going to damage your gangster career. You might not be a gang banger anymore. You still a member. You still an alumni, right? You still have influence over there. By you operating under that pretense that it's cool to have a badge like that, you know that they're not giving a badge to anybody that's not going to be willing to give them information or cooperate with them. They wouldn't give you no badge if you was against them. If you was pro, LAPD or pro police, you're not getting one of those badges. You know what I'm saying? So, I think a lot of people starting to look at Wack like a clown. You can only play this internet space so long before people start to see who you really are. You can only fake it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, I speak light into my content before I even get to the drama. I'm always telling these YNs, man, ain't nothing but court dates and caskets. You know what I'm saying? I'm always telling them that if that person's sending you on a mission and he can't go with you, then that's a problem. I'm telling somebody if somebody walk up to you and start clowning you by your shoes, your hat, you didn't provoke them, they clowning your outfit or your facial, your body, that's a hater. That's jealousy right there. These are signs that most YNs don't see. So I speak like that to these young dudes so they can know what they facing. So, yeah.
Nah, that's actual factual right there. Especially if it's unprovoked. Like somebody, I try to tell people that all the time too. Like if you minding your business and somebody unprovoked starts messing with you, there's something about you that bothers them about them. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's jealousy. See, people got to realize that darkness is attracted to the light. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look down on the ground, your shadow right behind you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, there's a lot of haters out here, but ain't nobody gonna tell you that.
Nah, that's facts. I like how you kick that too, man. Because with this whole Wack 100 situation and a lot of the things that we're gonna get into that happens on the West Coast, a lot of it spawns from No Jumper, man. And there's a lot of things that have been going on with Wack 100 where it seems like he finds a way to go viral and get into it with a lot of people, man. So what do you think about his whole viral strategy?
Charleston White Jr. People got to realize I've been beefing with, when I came in the internet space, I was going at it with Charleston White when he was a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? When he was dropping content, he had about 40,000 subscribers, but he has a science to what he do, and it's controversial. You go against everybody. If you go against everybody, call everybody out, it's going to create attraction. People going to look at it like, dang, this dude, he by himself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I think he trying to be like Charleston White.
Yeah, and then I'm glad you rolled back some of the history right there because, I've always been a YouTube watcher, so I remember the you against Charleston White. I remember all that, right? And it's wild. He still name drops you every once in a while in interviews and talks about those days when you guys were battling and whatnot. Now, what do you think about his trajectory and where he's taken his career so far?
Well, I'm not a hater, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was in Texas. I'm at the Ali Sadiq show at the Laugh Factory. I left my hotel, and I guess they found out what hotel I was in. Dewberry allegedly put up to my hotel, acting like he was looking for the smoke with Charleston White. And yeah, man, them niggas, when they dropped their video, I dropped my video like, man, I'm at the comedy club. You niggas knew I wasn't up in there, man. Y'all practicing. But he came a long way, man. He came a long way. As far as his direction he went, I feel like he sold his soul to get to where he needed to be. And that's his prerogative. That man has disability, one eye. He probably mad at the world. But you was prideful on saying that you took something from a young Caucasian woman. The world didn't say nothing about it. You boast about snitching, but then you also want to commit crimes yourself. You said you would turn to you got your knocker with you everywhere you go. I just feel like you're a sellout, man.
He's an interesting guy, man. Him, Dewberry, but he's mastered it, man. Like Charleston White, as far as going viral, he's mastered it. When I sat down with him, he talked about that, and he was very exact in his words. He basically let it be known that he spent time to master how to go viral, and he knows how to do it, and he knows exactly what to say and how to say it to do that, and it's proven to be successful for him. You know what I mean?
All right, so, yeah, so if I say, Dewberry like donuts in his, you know what I'm saying? Somebody hashtag that, it's probably gonna go viral. Yeah, Dewberry and Charleston White be having anal together. Some weird, that's what they, it's cool if you go master it on a controversy level, but like prime example, Ada Ross said that Charleston White, he seen his man package, right? And then you seen that. And then Charleston White, they playing these games, bro. I'm not with that, man. Like, you could tell these dudes ain't no street dudes, bro. It's a code to this. You can't be disrespecting the code, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.